Welcome to Before the Free Count with Charlie and Callum, ready to rock and roll, talking all things wrestling and everything in their day-to-day lives. What an interesting story Charlie has to start with. Well, take it away, Charlie.
You sound like that guy that used to do the adverts before your kid VHS videos.
Kids, I wasn't Haribo. I don't see a Haribo.
No, I meant like the ones that were actually on the video.
From character.
Yes.
Something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Before the Free Count.
No, you don't need to do all that. We've got the intro, so you just kind of like just go.
Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome. Passing it over to Callum and Charlie for Before the Free Count.
Because you did an intro before we... Oh, forget it. Okay, you did the intro. Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, all right. I'll just say hello.
Are you ready?
Welcome to the Before the Free Count podcast. In the red corner, it's Charlie Quick. And in the blue corner, it's Callum Hunt. And so, let the show begin.
Hey, welcome to Before the Free Count. It is me, Callum, and your boy, Charlie Quick.
How we all doing?
Charlie Quick. And we are talking some crazy stuff today, aren't we, Charlie?
Yeah, we are.
Can you say hot again in your voice? A few times.
No. SummerSlam's been and gone. We're not doing that again.
It is still hot.
No. That was last week.
That
was last week. We're not doing it again this week.
Oh, yes. I want you to do it every week.
Move on.
I want every week, Charlie.
Move on.
But it made me laugh.
It made you laugh.
It did.
Well,
please, give me a few hots.
Okay. But it was a good episode because it was soccer.
Yes, I might set as my text tone.
Oh, good God, that's not going to annoy you. And plus the fact, if people mishear it, they're going to think that your ringtone's like "hug to girl."
Also, okay, I'm not going to say that.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, are we talking about our dream? So the topic is today, isn't it?
Let's just get to SummerSlam quickly. Let's just catch up on SummerSlam for people quickly.
Okay.
So SummerSlam was this weekend. So, and we met up and we watched it. What do you think? Do you think it was good? Now you've had the aftermath of Raw and all that.
Well, literally nothing happened. It was like I'm joking. Of course, a lot happened.
I didn't know if he was taking the mick out of SummerSlam or Raw then. So I was like, well, no, both were pretty.
Yeah, pretty eventful. And not only that, Triple H said in the press conference afterwards, this marks the start of a new era. But I think he said that a few times. So Triple H
said that so many times now.
Stop saying that. But
yeah, stop planting flags.
Yeah, in a way,
you've planted your flag. Now you've got to actually start.
But doesn't it feel, Charlie, like we now have a full-on Triple H landscape of WWE? You know, all his.
You know what's really scary?
Yes. What?
That he's been in charge of WWE creative for exactly 2 years now.
I love the guy. He's my goat. He's my absolute goat, and I love Triple H. Triple H for president.
Oh, don't start that debate in the comments or anything. But no, I think he's done a brilliant job. But yeah, going back to it, I thought SummerSlam was brilliant. I loved all of it. I have to say, I loved all of it. I loved every decision that was made. Seriously, and I mean every decision.
Are you the same as me? Because I feel like a lot of the time with Triple H, he sort of always seems to make the decisions that I would make if I was booking. Like he always seems to go down similar routes that I would.
What he does that I've really enjoyed is that he's proven this quite a few times now, and I think it's taken 2 years for the trajectory of the targeting of what he's trying to do to make sense. And I feel like the thing is that WWE have never been known for giving the fans exactly what they want at that moment in time. But what is different now is that with Triple H in charge, you could say that I'm not going to give you what you want, I'm going to give you what you need. But when you need what you want right now, I will come back and I'll serve it later. And the perfect example of that is LA Knight to me. Over the last 2 years. Like at the beginning of his hype, everyone wanted him to just become champion of something or get a title like that. And around the time people really started believing in him was Money in the Bank last year. And everyone thought he was going to win it, and he didn't. But then the next big thing he got was a chance against Roman, and that was pretty good.
LA Knight is now flying high, and you could call him LA Kite.
But no, you know what I mean? And then after November, we then had the Rumble and had a decent match in that. And then I believe he had a match this year at Mania as well.
Yes.
Which was brilliant. And people were moaning the year before that he didn't have one because the one with, sadly, Bray Wyatt didn't go ahead, but that didn't go ahead because it was supposed to go to Bobby Lashley and all that stuff. And then
at the time, people thought with the Bray Wyatt thing, they kind of just thought that it was because he wasn't fit enough or he wasn't performing well, but actually, obviously, the circumstances that were.
Yeah, no, 100%. But another thing is, so he then went from that. So he then had a brilliant match Mania, and then I can't remember where we were after Mania. Quite a bit of that this year is already a bit blurred to me, I have to say. However, we then get to SummerSlam, and the one thing we wanted nearly a year and a half ago, well, a year ago actually, just over a year ago, we finally get. And this is Triple H delivering time and time and time again. You know, you could say the exact same thing about Liv Morgan. She just lost the championship. Or no, she just got the championship when Triple H was in charge. And loads of people were saying she needs to turn heel. She didn't turn heel for another year. She took loads of time off because of an injury. She comes back, she turns heel. Right now she's heel. And now she's champion and a heel. It's just genius, the whole thing.
And she's hot.
Ugh, here we go again.
Pete, do your thing.
Anyway, but what did you think of SummerSlam? Apart from our take on Triple H's booking here, I'm going to say quickly before I pass over to you, I'd say if there were highlights, I'll give my top three. I thought the first match was fantastic.
Yes.
I thought the first match, Liv and Rhea, was brilliant. Absolute. I don't think there was one bad match on this card, actually. And I'm saying that now. If anyone says there was something wrong with this card, there's something wrong with you. Okay?
Rhea. Yeah.
But no, I have to say every match was brilliant. But my top three, before I hand it over to you, is Rhea and Liv's match at the beginning was perfect. I really trying to think. I really enjoyed Gunther and Damian Priest's match. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I was going to. Actually, no, I changed my mind. That was a brilliant match. Man, it's so hard to actually just make it a top three now. Anyway, so we've got Rhea and Liv, and then I think I'd push Gunther and Damien just down a notch. If I could have a top five, it would be so much more easy, but I'm going to do a top three. The next match would be CM Punk versus Drew. I thought that was match of the night. And there's a reason it's not number one, though.
I would have liked it to be a bit more brutal, though.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit too quick. But I thought what they did within that time was genius. Absolutely genius. So that was my match of the night.
CM Punk on Raw.
That was good. Yeah, he was.
He
Yeah.
was. I haven't seen Raw yet.
You need to watch Raw.
It looked
Yeah,
like
there
it
was
was
quite
brilliant.
a few things that went down on Raw this week,
Yeah, it looked really.
including the Wyatt Six first main event. It was
Well,
brilliant. It was brilliant. But I digress. Going back to where we were. Now, I said that my favorite match of the night was CM Punk versus Drew. The reason why that's not my number one is purely because I think what happened, and I knew it was going to happen. This was the thing that I hinted at a few weeks back. And I told people to stop listening during the episode because I didn't want to spoil stuff because it wasn't a rumor; it had been leaked. And now everyone knows. The number one has to be the Solo Sikoa match versus Cody. I thought the match was brilliant. I thought the spots were fantastic. But the original Tribal Chief returned. Roman Reigns is back. And man, that just the takedown on Solo alone was just brilliant. It was fantastic. And the other thing, a lot of people have been saying, oh, he looked skinnier and stuff like that. He looked ready. That's what he looked to me. He looked like he was where he should have been the whole time. It was perfect, that match. It was long enough, but it was gonna be long enough because it's the main event. But it was long enough for them to give you enough in that match up to that point to genuinely consider that Cody was going to possibly lose that match. And it's the first time I thought that during a match with Cody since he won the belt. And I hadn't felt that at any other point. Maybe because I knew it kind of wasn't going to happen at any of them other points. Not to say I haven't enjoyed any other of Cody's defenses. I thought his first defense against AJ Styles is still one of his best. Maybe it's because the audience was brilliant, but anyway. That match, Roman coming back, all of that alone made it my number one moment of the night. Having now said all that, what would your top three be?
Number 3 would be Gunther winning the World Heavyweight Championship. I just think it's really cool because Gunther, you know, they did the right thing by him because they're building him up to be such an animal and such a beast. And it really does a lot for his character to not lose. I mean, I had a feeling that maybe Damien wouldn't lose this time, but I think they made the right choice. That would be
Also, have you seen the stats on that guy now?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. It's like it came out the other day that it's like he's been in the WWE for like 1,500 or like 2,000 days or whatever it is, okay? And he got the NXT champ. If you count the NXT, well, it does count. From when he was in the NXT, it's been 2,000 days, and it was like 75% of his time, which is like 1,507 days. He's been champion. How do you do that?
He's used to carrying a belt around, and I actually think he's going to be world heavyweight champion for a long time. Actually,
oh, he's going to carry that till Mania, and I still believe he'd win it in Mania.
Yeah, it's crazy. And why not? Why not? He's really cool. Number 2 would be the Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley match. I thought that was a brilliant opener. It's a fantastic story. It's very, very entertaining. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. And number 1, it's got to be the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk match for me. I mean, look, Roman Reigns coming back but the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk match for me was just really, really good. Everything I kind of wanted, but I think they're going to save the brutality for Bad Blood. I think it is. But it was quite a brutal match, and CM Punk looked great. He looked really good.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you. One thing I did remember when you said that, then just going back to the Gunther thing though, was you know how everyone said how I said at the beginning, I thought the pay-per-view was perfect. I wouldn't have changed anything. I lied. I would have changed just one thing. I wouldn't have had Gunther win at that match. I would have him have an automatic rematch and have him actually win it at Bash at Berlin.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it would be nice for, apart from the Americans, to have a winner in their home country, Triple H.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he keeps doing this to us, giving
Yeah.
like Drew McIntyre the chance. Well, Drew McIntyre.
Imagine if they lost. Imagine if he lost it in
Gunther,
Berlin, though.
Gunther,
Imagine.
yeah, that,
Like then it would just come across as,
Drew
"No, I'm doing this to make it funny."
Drew McIntyre would be a great choice for a fantastic choice to like go against Gunther, I think, in the future. But like Drew, will he ever get that world title back? I hope he does one day.
I think he will. I think it's a long-term story. I think it may be even like a whole year's thing. You know, you never know.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, it's a funny landscape at the moment, isn't it? WWE.
But it's a good one. It's a really good one. Yeah, but no. So yeah, as we said, we were really happy with SummerSlam, and we went a little bit over Raw. However, we're going to move on to the subject of the week, which this week is one that I basically came up with purely based on the news that's been circling around. And that's there was a photo last week that came out that was there was a photo that came out last week that was a picture of Shane McMahon, no less, in a meeting with Tony Khan. Now, there's been all different things come out about that, whatever, have it be what it could be. What it could be is what we're interested in. And that is why the subject of this week is if, doing our own little version of what if here. What if we did actually get a pay-per-view where, WWE and AEW did a pay-per-view together, like another version of Forbidden Door, the ultimate version. And what if them matches did happen? And what matches would you want to see? So here's how we do it. I say we do. The thing is, I'd say do 5 matches each, but there's never going to be a 10-match card. So I'd say we only get. Let's be fair. Let's give each other 3 matches that we would always dream to see. And we've got to explain why they would make sense.
And I suppose nothing's ever impossible. These matches could
No. I mean, if you would have said to me 2 years ago that Netflix is going to buy WWE's TV rights, I'd go, yeah, whatever. But, here we are. So, do you want to start or should I start?
I can start if you like.
Yeah, you go ahead, mate. You go ahead. So, who have you got as your first pick of this ultimate mashup of wrestling? If this ever did happen.
First match. A big clash.
By the way, can I just point out really quickly? Sorry. Can I just point out very quickly that these are in no particular order. This is just the ones that we thought of.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just random. And it doesn't mean we don't like any others or there's no favoritism towards that. Well, there is favoritism. But, there's not like we didn't think of these. We didn't put this one in or anything. It's like these are just the ones that we thought of. If you want to play the same game at home, do so. Heck, even send them in via text to our messaging service. We might even mention them in the future. Having said that, before we get any grief for not bringing up some kind of random one, Callum, over to you for your first pick.
I'm going to say, let me think. Well, Britt Baker versus Becky Lynch.
I like that.
Yeah. Because really, I was trying to think of the two. I think the chemistry between them two would be absolutely fantastic. And the promos and just like the match itself, they've got similar builds. They both sort of represent what their company is.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't know, I just feel like they're two of the biggest women in their respective brands. Even though Becky Lynch might be looking at retirement soon.
Yeah, there's rumors about that going around. Apparently.
Yeah. But Britt Baker is probably one of my all-time favorite female wrestlers. Maybe the favorite.
Yeah.
Maybe. I love Britt Baker. Met her in person. She was nice. She was sweet. Really kind. And I've got an awesome autograph from her. Anyway, that's beside the point. The match that would be fantastic. I think it would be awesome to see them in like a no holds barred match or something. I don't know. That'd be really cool. Now, second of all, we look at MJF and who would be a great opponent for MJF in WWE. And I think it's good to look no further than Seth
The
Rollins.
Miz.
I was going to say
okay, Seth Rollins.
because I think, again, Seth Rollins has this excellent ability to get very angry at heels. And I feel like MJF would have so much ammunition for Seth Rollins, like from the way he dresses and everything like that. And they would really, really bounce off each other, I think, so well.
Yeah.
And
Definitely. 100%.
It's sort of the workhorse of WWE, isn't he? And stuff. And I just think, can you imagine that MJF versus Seth Rollins? I think that would be a really, really cool match to see. And I know I'm quick with these, but it's just, and last but not least, in All Elite Wrestling, let me think. Last one. It's hard to think because a lot of these.
This is why I was going to actually say, give yourself one, then talk about it, and then the next one come back and forth. But you've done your first three now, so you can wait for your last one.
Wait. Because it is quite a difficult one because there's a lot of the AEW guys. Okay, actually, I don't think we ever got to see this in AEW. So it'll be very, very interesting, and there'll be so much heat because it'll be hot, and it could be hot. Jack Perry, aka Jungle Boy, but Jack Perry now, the scapegoat, versus
Don't say
CM
it. Oh, for God's sake.
That would be a proper good match.
Oh, that would be a nightmare. You wouldn't be able to have a ref in the room.
This is
in the ring.
Real glass.
Yeah. Wow. That's a really good choice. So I like all of them. I really do. Especially like the last one. But so let's go back. Let's talk about your first one. So Britt Baker versus Becky Lynch. So the first question I'd ask, who would be the heel in that? That's the thing. That's wine, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for those watching this on YouTube.
Britt Baker, I would say.
Britt Baker, okay. And are you saying that because she works for AEW or because you think it would work better for the angle?
I think it'll work better for the angle. I think. Well, in a way, though, when you look at AEW versus WWE, a lot of these matches probably wouldn't have necessary heels. It would be more like a war.
No, it would. It would have to.
Yeah, it would be more like Team WWE, Team AEW, almost like people would side with
almost, yeah. But it's interesting. Yeah.
It is.
So Britt's the heel and Becky's the face. So I like the idea. And then would there be any like certain clauses to the matches? Would it be a match type you specifically want to see?
Yeah, no holds barred for that one, I think.
Okay. I like the sounds of that. I think that'd be really good. And then I'm trying to think myself. I mean, if you had them two in a match against each other, I know it's just stating the obvious there, but if you had them in a match, who do you think would actually win?
Britt Baker.
Yeah, well, I always want to say Becky Lynch, but you know what? Where she'd be up against someone younger here, I kind of think that Britt would actually have a helping hand here. Yeah. Don't you think the same?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Like, I think that would just be a great women's match, great promos again, you know. And
yeah,
it'd just be awesome.
Yeah, 100%. No, I think it'll be really good. I mean, so that's your first one. What was the second one again? You said Seth Rollins versus MJF. Now, that's genius because I didn't think of that. It's not genius because I didn't think of it. It's just genius, the idea. But yeah, because that would work so much more. It would just work so well the more I think about that one. And you can tell that they'd work that more off each other. Just because of what you said, like they're both workhorses. They've both got that kind of little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of salt to them, probably more on MJF side than Seth Rollins, but still, nevertheless. And it's a match that I think a lot of people would want to see. And ooh, I mean, I think that the obvious heel would be MJF because he plays as a heel so well. But I feel that it would be interesting if it was actually the other way around for once. But no, it would be MJF the heel. It would be MJF the heel. And you could tell that them guys could go for a long match, couldn't you? Like they would go for easily 35 minutes, 40.
Yeah.
Easily. And then would there be stipulations to that one?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, these guys could go for a trilogy.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
Trilogy of matches. Potentially.
Okay, I like this. I really like this. Okay, that's a really right, yeah. But then the thing is, it's supposed to be a one contained pay-per-view here. But I like your idea of it being a trilogy of events if it became a thing. A trilogy of matches, I apologise. So yeah. No, I really like that. I really, really like that. And who do you think will win that?
Well, I like the idea of MJF winning all the time. I love
Yeah.
MJF, even though he's horrible to me. But I do love the idea of
Yeah.
MJF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never nice to really anyone, that guy, even in person. But no. I think that I think MJF would win. However, it would be interesting to see what would happen if he was beaten in that situation. You know what I mean? Be really interesting, especially if there was no title on the line, because then it would technically work in both people's favors. Because Seth would get the win, so he could say he beat him, but MJF could go, well, technically you didn't win anything because I didn't lose my title because it weren't on the line. You know? Yeah, I like that. I really like that. No, but I do feel like that match you said would be brilliant. I really do. Yeah, so I really like that idea. Good idea there, Callum.
Oh, thanks.
Seth Rollins versus MJF. And whilst you introduce your next match yet again, I am going to lean over and get a beer. So just say the name of the match again, please.
Jack Perry versus CM Punk.
What a brilliant idea that'd be.
That'd be a smashing idea.
That'd be a smashing idea. That would be Mary Poppins.
That was great. So then, mush. So yeah, Jack Perry versus CM Punk, death match.
Why do I want to say this now? But purely because you've said that, I just want to. Could we just started speaking in London accents? I just want to go. Cool, blimey, Mary Poppins. She put him through a table. What a bloody bastard!
That bastard smashed him over the head with
Yeah,
glass.
That is our next subject. If Disney moved right next week's episode, and I'm calling it here now, and this is staying in the podcast, so we can remember this. Next week we're doing the same thing, but if Disney had a wrestling show, who would fight who, and it wouldn't even have to be villains versus villains. Okay.
Mike Wazowski versus Ursula.
Yeah, like he's got one eye, but she's got 7 legs.
He has a thing for tentacles, I think. But yes,
Oh yeah, of course, because he's. Oh, Oh my god, that's a massive theory that you've probably just come up with.
what that
Really changing subject now. Oh, I know she's a monster, so she wouldn't be. I was thinking for a second. I was like, what if what's her name from Monsters Inc? Sally is Ursula's daughter somehow. I was like, no, because she's a monster, you idiot. This had nothing to do with what you were talking about. This is the problem when I let my randomness come out.
quickly, yes or no? Just a yes or no question.
Oh god, here we go.
Do you believe in mermaids / sirens?
No.
Why? They're freaky. They do exist.
I know a mermaid.
Well, then you must believe in them.
Well, actually, that
I
story
do,
sounds like I'm mental, but believe me, I have a very reasonable explanation for what I said.
I do believe in fairies. I do.
I do. Um, we have really lost track of this podcast.
I don't believe in fairies. And look, Charlie might no. Okay. I don't believe in fairies. I don't believe in fairies. So many fairies dropping dead now.
Yeah, there you go. If you get the fourth wall breaking, guys, there you go.
Sorry, look, where were we? Jack Perry and CM Punk.
Yes.
Death match, blood, guts, everything. Barbed wire, exploding stuff.
Yeah, but the best thing about all this, it wouldn't even have to be set. It just would be. Like technically, this might not even need to be wait for a pay-per-view to happen. This could just happen outside a parking lot, outside a KFC in America somewhere.
Technically, they've already had.
Yeah, technically, round one's already happened.
Already had a backstage brawl.
You saw the first round of Wembley. Well, you didn't see it, but we saw it backstage. So
I want Adam Cole to come back to WWE. When is his contract up?
I believe.
It's sad because Triple
I
H would have
want to say 2026, but I could be wrong, and you could have to wait a really long time, and it could be 2028.
Oh my god. Because his contract
Was
like
he still under WWE in 2022? At
oh my god.
any point in 2022?
Yeah, so both Malachi Black and Adam Cole's contract expires in 2027.
Oh, it's only 1 year out.
Mate, it's 2. No, it's 3. We're in 2024.
Yeah, but I said it was either going to end in 2026 or 2028.
Oh, I see. But it's not good, bro. It's not good because Adam Cole will probably be too old by the time that expires. Oh, what a shame. Hopefully, we'll still get some good Adam Cole matches in AEW
Well,
anyway.
there'll still be some great Adam Cole matches to come in AEW. It's not like he's had some already. I mean, like, let's be fair. Like, who else can say that he left a company and then went on to headline Wembley Stadium? Not a lot.
Exactly. I mean, that was an amazing match too. I really
Yeah.
like that match. And we're going to All In really soon, so that'll be cool.
Yes, we are.
I can't wait.
Yes, we are. Anyway, back to your match. So yeah, CM Punk versus Jack Perry. I'm so tempted to go to All In wearing a CM Punk shirt, by the way, just to annoy you. Not that he doesn't like CM Punk, he does. It's just that he doesn't want to get beaten up, and neither do I, to be fair. But this is a kind of like
I hope we get let in.
this is sacrilege. This is like wearing a Liverpool shirt at Man United. Like honestly,
Will we get let in if you're wearing a CM Punk?
I don't know. Wear it inside
Hopefully.
out. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah.
Definitely won't get on the cameras.
Anyway, but no, I think that match would be brilliant. You could see it. Yeah, it would be amazing. Can we please make it a cage match as well? Because I could just see some of the moves they'd pull off that thing. It would be brilliant. Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be a good match. Why do you keep on staring down at your phone?
I'm just looking up when people's contract expires,
Oh, fair enough.
but it's just, yeah. I mean, you are right about Daniel Bryan. It's just a shame about Adam Cole. It makes me sad because he could have been world champion.
The fact that I gave you that fact about Daniel Bryan last week, we didn't even talk about it the weekend, and yet you still remembered it when you looked at it. Then it's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, well, for me, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Bloody hell, I've got so many cards in my wallet. That's random. Sorry, cut that out. But yes, Charlie. So for God's sake, tell me your matches.
Right. So I've got 3, like I said, okay. And the reason why I set them as 3 is because they're the 3 that I had already come up with, and I was struggling to come up with more purely because I thought if it was down to me and I could just pick them and they were off the top of my head, these were the first 3 I thought of, okay? So again, these are in no particular order. No particular order. Okay?
Yes.
And I'm going to get the first one out of the way purely because you had one of the people that I was going to use in one of your matches. And I think for me, the first one, it could headline, but I don't think, I mean, it could, but it wouldn't in that type of pay-per-view. But the first match I instantly thought of, if you could have anyone from AEW and anyone from WWE mix and have a match, the first thing that came to my head was just instantly Will Ospreay versus Seth Rollins. Because we've heard about it so many times and we never got to see it. Not to say it will never happen in years to come, but let's be honest, I think that Seth Rollins has probably got half a decade left, maybe a bit more, but Will has got 10, 15, maybe even 20 years in him. Okay? It's going to be by some miracle that we're going to actually see that match now. And if we do, it'll never be in the state that we want it to be because one of them will be too old, the other one will be, returning and whatever. Okay? That was the first one I thought of. And the reason why I went for that was 2 reasons. One, Seth's really good at, getting people over these days. Not to say he's still not a good wrestler, he is, but let's be honest, he is more of a person to get someone over these days than wins themselves. Actually, I'll say that he did have the world heavyweight championship at some point in the last.
Is he going to get Bronson Reed over?
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, yeah. But no, 100%. I believe that Seth could sell Will Ospreay to the moon. Not to say we'll need Seth Rollins now to sell him, but you know what I mean. Like he could make it really work. 2, the move types would be spectacular. They would just be absolutely spectacular. I'd take Rollins back by a couple of years just to be able to get him to be able to flip off the ropes like how we used to. Because again, this is all fantasy in our head still, technically. We say that, and then tomorrow this actually gets announced. No, our luck. And the third reason is I think that it would be one of, if not, yeah, it would. It would be one of those matches that you would only dream, that you would only see happening at somewhere like Wrestle Kingdom. So for it to actually happen in the way that it would be huge, and it would actually put that type of wrestling back into the mainstream. Not to say that Seth Rollins' wrestling style or Will Ospreay's wrestling style is not in the mainstream, but in the way that they'd want to do it, with the way that they would want to wrestle that match, with no rules from either company there, it would be so good. And I'd say the winner would be Will, for the reasons I've stated before. So that was the first match I thought of. Just straight away. Okay? Just straight away. Now, for some reason in my head, my brain said, let's do it so it's based for next year. I don't know why. It just did, okay? But let's say it did happen, and it did happen next year. Okay? And I know this match has already happened, and this is a match that we could have in any fantasy, all la-di-da and all that, okay? And for some reason, this is one of the matches I thought of. I don't know, and I apologise for not getting more creative here. But if it would make more sense if it did happen next year for the reasons that I'm about to say, okay? Let's say this happens in 2025, okay? Let's say around about, I don't know,
Yeah.
July, August, this time next year, okay? Well, there'll be two people that fight it before, and one of them's about to go into retirement, and one of them's probably near the end of his retirement, near the end of his retirement, the beginning of his retirement. And wouldn't it be brilliant if we could have one final match between Chris Jericho and John Cena?
Yeah.
I know we've
Yeah.
seen it. I know we've seen it, and I know it won't be as good as it used to be because they're both old. I completely get it. And I know this is not even technically a AEW WWE mix, but technically it is because of where old Chris Jericho's got himself at the moment. And if it was based next year, it would be during John Cena's last year. And come on, tell me, if you could genuinely go back and put John Cena back in the same way he was at his prime and have all his components, all his competitors and best rivals back in their prime, you're not telling me you want to see one more time Jericho and Cena go at it? Because I would. And you're telling me that if they didn't announce it, you wouldn't be excited? Because I would. And the thing is, with just saying that, Jericho Cena, I don't even need to explain to you why I came up with that match. You know what I mean? You know the history. You know why it works. You know why it would be brilliant. Because it's Jericho and Cena.
Yeah.
Two of the
No,
best from that generation.
no, you're not wrong at all.
Yeah. And I know this is also one that people are going to get annoyed at. They're like, you could have put any other match there. Yeah, I know I could have. But you're telling me that if this is announced, AEW and WWE, and they do it next year, you're not telling me that one of the matches you don't want to see on that card is that, considering what just came out of John Cena's mouth a couple of months back. I rest my case. Anyway, my last match, and again, this is a very, again, I don't pick your normal wrestlers. I really don't. And again, these matches aren't supposed to be serious. They're not. You know, they're fantasies in our eyes. And one
Yeah.
thing that I feel really bad that I didn't say to Callum at the beginning of all this is that one of the people that I've picked doesn't actually work for WWE anymore. Okay? So, hear me out, okay? And this one was just, it stayed in my head and it was funny. But then the more I thought about like the promos they could do with each other and stuff like that, and how well each character would work off each other, just made me laugh more and more and more. So my last match would be Danhausen versus San Martino.
Yeah. Danhausen was 17. Oh yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you know,
Funny.
the Cobra.
Yeah. Funny.
The Cobra.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
guy.
That was
Yeah.
good.
And I know it's so stupid. I know it's like you just whacked yourself right in the bollocks, then, didn't you?
Oh, just my back is killing me. But yeah, go on.
Yep, no, we're cutting that out. um, and I know it's the most stupid match in the world, but I swear to God, anyone, you want to go online, you want to have a laugh for 5 minutes, okay? Just go and put in, what's his first name? I want to say it's not Bruno Sammartino because that's the old wrestler. What's his name?
So, Santino Morello.
Santino Morello or San Martino. That's Santino Morello. If you want to watch something that will just make you laugh, just go and put in Santino Morello trying to make wrestlers laugh compilation, and you just put in stuff like that, and you'll get some of the funniest things and I swear to God, it honestly is just so funny. Like, one of my favorites ever is when Akon was in the audience and he was up on the mic and he went, "We got big time rapper in the audience tonight. We have Akon here." Acorn. And then you had all the ones where he couldn't pronounce the names of them. John Cena. Yeah. I'm Rudy Piper. And the Big Slow. And all of them. But then you have Danhausen's side of it, where he's just so funny as well. And so clever. But they're both really good wrestlers as well. So it'd actually make a decent match. And, you know, it's stupid, it really is. But, you know, it's one of those things. So, yeah. I mean, again, so you can ask me questions now. They're my three. So going back, so if you went back from the beginning, if you had any questions on the first one I said, which was Will Ospreay versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, the like, yeah, like what I was gonna say, the Will Ospreay is a fantastic match. Like that would be amazing. That would be incredible. I know you've really wanted to see that. But yeah, man, like I think they're really solid choices. I think the Danhausen. I'm look, I'm gonna be straight with you. I've never really liked Danhausen. I don't like him. I don't find it funny. I don't know what it is. I did like Santino Morello though. He was cool, and I enjoyed his stuff. But yeah, I didn't ever really like.
Okay, you said it, but just remember that.
But no, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Danhausen will grow on me.
Yes.
But yeah,
Very good, very evil.
yeah, he's okay. He's okay. But Santino Morello, I always really liked. I don't know why I didn't meet him at the convention. I don't know why I didn't meet him. He's one of the people I really liked growing up. Why the hell didn't I meet him? Oh well. But apparently he was quite rude, actually.
I found him really nice. I found him really nice. He was a lot calmer than I thought he was going to be. I mean, you'd think that someone that plays a character like that, they'd be really like out there. Anyway, but no, I think that they would be good. And then what was my second match? I said, oh yeah, Chris Jericho versus John Cena. I mean, I know it's a really like boring choice because it's a match we've had before, so it's already happened. And 2, it's people that have already been in the same company. And 3, they're both older now, so it wouldn't be as good. It's just kind of like the whole situation with the thing. I feel like it would be kind of good if it did happen next year, if that was one of the matches.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Like, yeah, no, I agree.
But yes, I mean, if you could pick one more match, what would it be? Let's have one more match each. Okay.
Will Ospreay versus Camilo Hayes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? It'd be
But
very.
then again, I think Will would have to be the heel in that one.
Do you think?
Yeah. I wouldn't want him to be.
No, I agree. I agree.
But yeah.
Yeah. Who else? What else?
And then I'd say for me, if I could have one more, I'd say another one that I did think of, but I didn't chuck in because I'd already gone past 3 at this point. I'd say I'd really like to see Shotzi versus Ruby Soho because I just think their styles would be so cool together because they are almost exactly the same but on different channels.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. bright green
Yeah.
hair. That would
They're
look
both
quite.
very, very, very similar
But they would
in
work
their
in a
presentation and the way they are on screen.
great tag team.
They'd be a great tag team. You know, if one left the other company and the other one left the other company, that would so work straight away.
This is why I think it is good to have two brilliant big companies, because it's awesome because they can jump from one another. Big
Yeah,
impact.
definitely.
Malachi Black, oh, he would be so good in WWE right now. Like, he would be so good.
Yeah.
There's so many people I wish was in AEW. Well, actually, no, to be honest, there's more I wish that was in WWE. There's not really many I wish that was in AEW, but it's just like, you know.
There's a few that would work in both, and that's a very rare position to be able to be in. And I think that's the thing. If you're someone that can work on both sides and make it work, that's the true talent of someone. If you can sell yourself on either side, and you know, again, it doesn't really matter where the person works. If you're a hit, they're gonna get that out of you. It's just meant to be. You know. But on that, I think we're gonna wrap it up for the week. But just very quickly, one final thing. What do you think could happen on Friday Night SmackDown this week? Because it's really interesting. I just thought I'd bring that up really quickly because I was just thinking about it then for a split second.
Do you think we're going to see Roman Reigns?
This is the thing.
Got to, right?
I would be surprised if we didn't, but I actually don't think we should.
I don't know. I think we will. I think what's going to happen is we're going to get Cody come to the ring, talk for a bit, and then bang, Roman music hits.
Nah.
I think.
I think it's
a tag team match between Solo and one of his goons and Roman and Cody.
Wow, that would be insane. Maybe. But I mean, that could build up to Bash in Berlin. That's a really good idea you've got there.
Oh yeah, maybe
I
save it to
like
Bash.
that. But to me, what I would do, if it was up to me, I would get Solo to start the show by just coming out and like he has his music, but he just runs to the ring and he has the mic and he goes, "Where are you? Where are you? Come on, where are you?" Da, 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 da. And then Paul Heyman finally comes back and he says, "Oh, I don't resign to you anymore. I resigned to him. And I just came here to tell you that he's not here tonight. But he said you'll be seeing him again soon." And then that's it. Just scare him. So then the next time he does show up, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
And then the next time he shows up, it's a bit of a surprise. And then it slowly starts building to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That would be
Because then you don't lose the heat of him coming back that quickly. You know what I mean? You could really play off this on, especially with like the mind games Roman could play with him.
Yeah, that would work really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can't wait for SmackDown. It'll be good.
No, neither can I. I'm so excited.
To catch up with Raw.
It's really good, man. You should really watch this video, and I recommend it to everyone to go and watch it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't lose any videos. And if you haven't found the YouTube channel, it should be in some of the links. And if you haven't found us on TikTok or on Twitter, or well, not on Twitter, or on our Facebook page, or if you're not following us on Spotify or on iTunes, you'll know where you can get your podcast. It's down below in the links. As I said, that's it for this week. Thank you so much. Next week, we'll be talking about Disney, if they owned wrestling. Who would fight who? We look forward to seeing you then. Charlie is out.
See you later, guys.
And that's it for this week. What was that?
It's Callum.
It's well, oh, that's 2 minutes. I was wondering who that other voice was the last hour. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.